Hey guys, what's going on? Brandon here with Exotic Cars 19, and on a fairly recent video, someone asked me if I still had the Shelby GT350. And then I thought to myself, how long has it been since I made a video with it? Because obviously I still have the 350. I always mentioned how it would be so difficult to sell the car. So yes, in short, I still have the GT350. That it's been like 4 or 5 months since I made a video with it. That's on me, my bad. So I've been a little slow to upload in general on this channel, so I'm going to start picking up the pace some more, but definitely bringing back here with the GT350. I figured it's been a while since I featured it. The weather is kind of dreary, which makes it okay for lighting on a video, so I thought we'd just go for a quick cruise and just talk about some stuff. Specifically, in the Detroit International Auto Show, you saw that the Shelby GT500 2019, highly anticipated, got released. So I thought I'd kind of talk about what I think about it. Will I be getting one, yada yada, all that kind of shenanigans. All right, here's the deal. I actually really like it, quite a bit. However, you're gonna hear me out on just why I like it. I guess we'll just get into it. A lot of the reason on why I like it as much as I do is because I currently have this car here, the Shelby GT350. And I like them because they're different enough from each other. I expected that. I mean, GT350 to 500, they're kind of different tasks. What Ford says about them, how they slot them in the lineup, and what they say their purpose is, they're different enough. I knew they're gonna be different enough. However, I didn't know a couple of things that they have released. One point I'll just jump right into is the transmission, for example. As of right now, they're saying that it is only going to have a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. If I didn't have this car, I would think that's sacrilege. I would think, come on, you have to at least have the option of a manual. I would expect it was manual only, kind of seeing how GT500s were in the past, and seeing the 350s. However, again, because I own this car, I see that as not that big of a deal because I like the GT500 in a way that I would like it as an addition to this car. However, don't get excited for me because that doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting one. I'm not totally writing off the idea. I'll address that later. Anyway, but in short, that's kind of where I'm at with it, is because I have the GT350, the GT500 is so different from it that I really like it, thinking in my head, I want them together, if that makes sense. That being that the GT350 and the 350R are still the most powerful naturally aspirated engine Ford's ever made. The GT500 is the most powerful production car they've ever made. More so than the new Ford GT. Of course, the Ford GT is all about aero and lightweight and all that stuff, versus this new 500 is still the body of a Mustang. However, it's not supposed to be a one-trick pony, pun intended. It's meant to be great in the straight line, great on circuits and all that good stuff, according to Ford, and I believe it. I mean, you just look at the aero on it, it's awesome. I guess let me backtrack real quick. When I first found out some of the specs, there's only like 2 main things that were missing. That's gonna be the exact horsepower number and the price. I don't have that, no one does at this moment. However, what I'm saying is, right when I found out the specs that I do know, I was actually happy as a GT350 owner, like, oh cool, it's the special car of the 350 that's still special because it's different enough. The 2 big ones are that it doesn't have a manual transmission, and as expected, it's got the 5.2 liter V8. As not expected, it is not a flat plane crank like this beautiful beast. And of course, it's not naturally aspirated. It is forced induction, as we would expect from the 500, via a 2.65 liter supercharger. You guys know me, forced induction, I'm cool with it if it doesn't dilute the car like twin turbos can. Supercharger, I'm all for it. It's a 500, I expected it. But I expect it to be a 5.2 liter flat plane crank V8. So the fact that they went cross plane, I'm not disappointed in that for the 500, and I'm happy about it being a 350 owner because it's just the special engine block, and I'm happy about it. You guys can probably understand why. Let's address the transmission real quickly. The no manual yet. So when they announced it just a couple days ago, I realize I'm a little late to the party here, but when they announced it, they said, no, it's just gonna be a 7-speed manual. However, when a Ford exec was asked, would you bring the manual? They said, well, we give the customers what they want. So what they're saying is, if the demand shows, they will produce it. But I don't really know if the demand's gonna really show up any more than it is already. And if they're not saying they will, then I don't know if that's a guarantee. I mean, you could even look at, let's just pick a different American car with the option, the Z06 C7. A lot of people, I think the vast majority are getting it with the 8-speed auto. Kind of unfortunate. But you know, do as you will with your money. But so I think they saw that and they said, you know what, let's just make a fast car And however, at least it's not a single clutch. If it's going to be their only transmission, I said the same thing in the F-Type review. If it's their only transmission option, it's got to be pretty stellar. I don't think they'll put a really laggy 7-speed in a Mustang, even if it's the GT500, the Halo Mustang. I don't think they would put a crap 7-speed in there. If it's a dual clutch, I mean, this is unconfirmed. Maybe if I did more research, I can confirm it. But I mean, a 7-speed dual clutch auto, that's the same one that's in the Ford GT. I would have figured they would have put the 10-speed that they shared between the GM and Ford collaboration, the new 10-speed that's in the Raptor and some other vehicles, the new Camaros even. I thought it was going to have that one if it was going to be automatic. But to hear that it is a dual clutch 7-speed, that's why I'm not too disappointed on it. Helping with that is the fact that I have the 350 and a manual. But one thing I have to say, just cosmetically, it's a pretty striking looking car. We saw some different renderings and all that, like here and there before the release, but now that we see the official car, I like it. It looks really good. It's got the GT4 inspired, not Cayman GT4, I mean the GT4 series Mustang program, Ford Performance program wing. Totally visible carbon fiber, big old wing. There's a package called the carbon fiber package. That's probably gonna be that wing. The interior's got just a big panel of glossy carbon fiber. Looks super exotic, looks super cool. And then how could I forget the wheels? Visible carbon fiber wheels. The GT350R had carbon fiber wheels painted gloss black. They just left it exposed carbon on the 500 and it looks real good. Other than that, it's got some aero bridges that are kind of hard to make out on the front. What else? Where I have black plastic on my 350, the 500 is a gloss black. Contrasts really nicely. Only problem with that is this is just a very slim chance. I'm probably not going to end up getting one, as I'll explain in just a second here. But if I were to get one, the problem is I really like it in that blue with white stripes. So I couldn't get rid of this car. So then I'd have a 350 and a 500 in the same specs. Financial decision, yeah, not smart at all. That would be kind of cool though. So I guess that's the real short version of it. I like it because it's so different from this. You're going to be looking at over 700 horsepower supercharged versus this is 526 naturally aspirated, manual, auto, flat plane, cross plank, plank. Anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. It's different enough, and I think they'll go hand in hand, contrast with each other, and play nicely. So I think that's kind of cool, and that's why in my little fantasy, I would like to have both. Let's dive into that. Why do I think it's not too feasible? Other than the obvious, it's probably not going to be terribly cheap. And of course the markup. I hate paying over sticker. I had to pay over sticker for this one here. Excuse me real quick, it's going to get kind of dark. That's okay, we can make some noise. Anyway, I waited, you know, this is a 2017 year model. I waited till well into 2017 to pick this up. And this was a new color, lightning blue. It was a new color at that time, so they did not want to give this to me at MSRP. I fought and fought. It was $10,000, then it was $5,000. I ended up paying $2,000 over sticker. I can live with that. I'll justify it because I'm making videos for YouTube, so that makes me feel better. But yeah, the 500, it's going to be the same story. It's going to be over sticker, and I just don't want to do that because it's going to be probably $20,000 over sticker, just like the 350R, if not more. I just don't want to play that game. I'm not that rich, guys. I would love to, I'm just being totally transparent here and honest. I would love to get a GT500 purely for the sake of YouTube. I think if I had a 500 and a 350 at the same time, the 350 would be my more long-term car. I don't see myself selling the 350. I say that now, hopefully I say that years and years down the line. However, where I'm getting at, just being totally transparent here, I would love to get the 500 purely as a YouTube car. So with that said, I would have to be really early with it, and to be early and not pay MSRP or over MSRP, it's tough, if not possible at all. So it might be worth trying, but also it just goes along with, look, I'm young, 3 cars. It's just right now, it's not terribly feasible. I'm not rolling in the dough right now, and neither am I through this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel has always been kind of a passive thing, and you know what? Sometimes it pays okay, but it's never paid for a car. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the 2 cars I have right now, I got this 350 I bought in 2017, and then I recently, last July, bought a used 14 SVT Raptor. And part of me kind of regret buying this car outright and not financing it, but at the time I was 19 and I couldn't get a loan for it, so at that time I was just too caught up looking at Dave Ramsey videos. I'm like, debt is bad and I'm just gonna buy that car, and I did. However, I realized if I want to build credit, I should finance something. So I financed my truck. And so if I were to get a 500, I wouldn't want to do that with 2 loans. I'd probably want to pay off the Raptor, then do that. And at that point, you know, I can totally keep up with the payments and all that, but is it financially responsible? Who knows? Maybe it'll be a cool YouTube car and I start rolling in the dough with all the YouTubers that are making just tons of money from this, but maybe that'll be a little irresponsible to buy a 500 purely for the sake of YouTube. That's probably what I would just tell myself. But we'll see what happens. You know, I believe, one more talking point on the 500, they say it's going to be available, I think it's a 2019 year model and we're in 2019. I believe it's going to be available for sale on the floor come fall. That's kind of soon. So if I were to do it, I really would like to get myself to a point to where it's not even a question, certain income or something has happened to where I can just do it without thinking. Right now, it'll be so pushing it, and I'm so happy with the cars I have right now. So I don't want to give a hard no, but I'll give a soft no. Let's go with probably not getting a 500. Just so many things have to happen right, even regarding the MSRP and all that stuff. We don't even know what's going to cost. So it's probably not going to happen, but at the same time, 2 weeks before I bought this, I didn't think I'd get it. So mostly I just want to talk about the car and what I thought about it. And you know what, maybe I'll keep my eyes peeled on one a year later, and I'll kind of buy one a year after it's been on the market like I did with this car. One other thing is I would look like a massive Ford fanboy, which I've always been denying I'm not. I just like the products. By the time I get a third Ford, I'm definitely full-on fanboy at that point, and so I just have to own it. But that's okay. Ford makes good stuff. Another thing about the 350 and 500 together is that they're so, like I said, they're very different, but in their whole ethos of the car itself, kind of what Ford says about it, they still say the 350 is the circuit car. Of course, the 500 can do that too, but the 500 is really made to be the street car, the drag car. It's not even full-on drag car. I mean, it's got a big old wing on the carbon package. But you're looking at specs, although it's 700 plus horsepower, we don't know the exact one. We do know that it's doing the quarter mile in less than 11 seconds and is going 0 to 60, and they are saying the mid 3 seconds. So what does that mean, 3.5? I don't know. That could be 3.3, that could be 3.6. Let's go with 3.5, mid 3s. That's very impressive. So they're really, what Ford is saying is they want that car to be able to take down supercars. However, nowadays supercars are trying to take down hypercars, so it's all a good thing. Everything's just getting faster and faster, so that's always pretty sweet and it's good for us. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I think it's gonna be a wicked car. I want one. I'm not really having my eyes set on it fully, but you guys let me know what you think. Give me your 2 cents. What do you think about how it looks, how it's gonna perform? How do you think it's gonna stack up against the current competition and all that good stuff? But anyway, your 2 cents is always appreciated. Leave a comment down below and we'll start some dialogue. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plenty more uploads planned very soon. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.